Hi everyone, it's Paul here. So I wanted to just make a video about how I deal with traffic at Sebring. Obviously I drive the LMP2. So yeah, just wanted to kind of run through it. I haven't done one of these before, so there might be a bit of umming and ahhing and kind of waffling, but hopefully I can explain it somewhat decent and help you guys out. If you pick up a couple of things from it in traffic, then so be it. So yeah, just wanted to kind of run through what I'm looking at, sort of timing wise, and when to hold back, when to go for the overtake, when to fuel save, when to all that kind of stuff basically. So yeah, let's get into it. Um, this is from an IMSA session from last night. Um, yeah, so let's go. I've basically got us to the point where we're on the back of the traffic now. So yeah, here we go. So coming up to, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to turn down my in-game a little bit so I can hear myself talk. So coming into turn one, you can see here what I've basically done is, because I know this car is obviously going to go to the right, I've just kind of waited a little bit longer to get back onto the throttle. Instead of just mashing it in, I kind of hold it off a little bit, even did a little lift, and then just sort of pulled myself to the inside. So minimal time loss. You don't want to get to a point where you're like right up this guy's behind. So you could even do a little bit of a lift here, rather than the little bit of lift that I did there. You'll kind of start learning how big these gaps need to be for the closing speed. But in this instance, I could have done a little bit more of a lift here, or I did it at the end. But either way, it's pretty good. So then you just want to hold the inside, give them the room on the outside because they're always going to understeer. So here we've got a choice to make. Personally, this is too much of a gap to try and send it down the inside, right? So at this point, I'm gonna normally I wouldn't be lifting until well beyond the 3 cone, but because I know I'm not gonna get the chance to overtake this guy not without doing an absolutely immortal send for the ages. I'm gonna lift here, save fuel, brake a bit softer, and then just sit behind. And then what I'm aiming to do at this point is basically set myself up so that I can get really tight on the left over here, so that I can get up his inside and not give him a choice. Because sometimes GT3s will try and close this door because they don't want you to go up the inside here, because it slows them down essentially. But as long as you've got yourself into a position here where you're close enough, you can make it so that they don't have a choice. And that's one of the key things about doing traffic as a prototype. Yes, GT3s aren't going to like you very much, but as long as you're safe about it and you look after your own race, it's not your problem. Essentially, you've got to be a bit of an arsehole at times, and that's just how it is. So yeah. So what I'm looking to do here, I know I'm not going to make it past the second one, so I'm basically looking to overtake the first one and then kind of slot in behind this one here. So get inside, and then I'll downshift down to first. Normally I'll take this in second, but because I can't get over to the right hand side of the track over here, I can't get the right angle. So I'm going to go down to first and just make sure that I can get a good exit. So here, and then he's obviously out wide, so I've got all the track on the inside to get past him. And then at this point, a lot of the GT3s will want to get over to this side of the track, so just be aware that your line really will be on the inside here. So give him a little flash to let him know I'm coming. And then over we go. Now for these ones, I'm going to want to go to the inside. And now I'm going to make a judgment call. He's made this very easy, right? Because he knows I'm coming, he's moved over to the left, so that just immediately opens up the door for me to go through here, which is fine, right? all it means is my angle into this corner now is going to be reduced because I'm not going to be able to get over to that curb in time without risking getting punted from behind by the GT3. So essentially what I'm going to do is try and get as close to the guy's door as I can. So I open up the corner as much as I can without kind of cutting his nose off. And then I'm going to go down to first here, whereas I normally wouldn't. Normally this is a second gear corner, but I'm going to go down to first also because I've got this car now in front of me. There's no chance I'm getting inside him here. He's already committed to the corner, so it's not worth doing. You just got to suck up the punishment here, unfortunately, and then keep it inside so that we can push on the exit, because he's always going to run out to that curb on the outside. We can use our downforce and stick to the inside. So then let's get through here. So now, again, we're going to have a bit of a choice to make here. We're not going to get close enough to get alongside him. So the choices that we've got are basically send it down the inside, but then you risk you're not going to have the right run at the corner, right? So in this instance, because I know by the time I get to the corner, I'm going to be fairly close to him. He's gonna brake and he's gonna go as close to the apex as he can, as he would do. I know that this car has got enough downforce on it that I can go around the outside of him here, as long as I get it done before the end of the corner. So what I do here is just not turn in as much. I'm going to get as close to that car as I can. Well, I mean, not even that close, to be honest with you, but I'm just using the advantage of the downforce of the car at this point. And then I'm gone and past him before he's even at the apex. So I don't need to worry about him running out wide, because I'm already gone, essentially. And all it means is I just got to be a bit clever about my throttle inputs to make sure that I don't understeer off. You just got to make the adjustment that you're not taking your ideal line. So you are going to go a little bit slower in the corner. You are going to have to delay your throttle input a little bit. But you've lost minimal time there, because you've not had to get stuck up behind the GT3. You've not had to really change your line all that much. So again here, you'll see I know I'm not going to make it to this corner, so I've lifted here already. So again, big fuel save into this corner. But I'm making sure that I get as close behind him as I can. I'm also very aware that there is another car there in front. But I go for it anyway, because there's a gap that opens up. And then I'll just slot in between the two, down to first again, make sure I get a good exit. So I'll lose minimal time there. And again, big lift into here, because I know that I'm going to get stuck up behind this guy. On the exit, you're always going to go outside there. And away we go. So this was a bit scary, because he had a big wiggle there. So I've just backed out of it, made sure I've given myself enough room to be able to not get target fixated, essentially, because if he rejoins quite aggressively and I've got no room to wiggle, then I'm going to hit him, right? I want to make sure that I've got enough room that I can get onto the inside here, which means that I've actually overslowed. I'm going a lot slower here on exit. That's what that little kind of lift is there. So I know that if I need to, I can throw the car over to the right and I won't understeer, essentially. I've still got enough room to manoeuvre. So we wiggle out of his way. And now, again, coming into here, I know that this time in here, I know I'm going to be able to get him going into the last part of Le Mans, the right-hander before the back straight. So what I'm aiming to do is I'm looking to take my normal line, take my normal braking zone, and I want to be as close behind him as I can by the middle sector of this little sector here. And then I'm going to basically just not follow him, and I'm going to get as close to his rear quarter there as I can. Take the inside line, and then I'm just going to delay getting on the throttle a little bit. There's a little gap there, whereas normally I'd be straight on the gas because I've taken a more tighter line. And you'll see kind of here how much room I'm leaving. And yeah, just kind of delay the throttle a little bit, make sure you get a good exit. So away you go down there. So that was the first run through traffic. I'm pretty sure I have to go through them again, which, let's have a little look.
Engage limiter.
So we're at my pit stop. Let's have a little fast forward.
Your exit looks clear. Stay behind the line.
Let's have a little look, see what's going on. Right, so we're coming up to some traffic again now. Right, so this is interesting, right? So this guy's just come out of the pits, and he's going to come out alongside these two. So this is going to be a scary situation for most people, right? It's always going to be a little bit sketchy when you've got multiple cars fighting each other. So what I'm going to do, I know I've got enough speed to get past these guys before I get to that corner, so I'm going to give as much room as I can, just in case this guy spooks and tries to move over to the left. I'm going to put my car as close over to the grass as I can, just to avoid any sort of shit. It's just one of those things that he's so focused on this guy coming out the pits that he might not even realise I'm here. So I'm just giving myself the maximum amount of safety, because it makes no difference to me whether I'm here or whether I'm here, right? Like from a time point of view. So I'm just making sure that I'm giving myself the most opportunity to not get murdered. So, yeah. So we get around that one. This one here, so I know how good this car is on the brakes. This is about the limit of how far away you want to be going into the braking zone. And what I actually ended up doing was kind of braking really quite heavily, and I managed to get it done without causing any dramas. Like I'm actually, there's big margin there. You've got to take advantage of the amount of downforce that you've got in this car. You can overslow it, it's fine, but you just got to make sure that you've given yourself enough room at all times to stop yourself from being in bad situations, essentially. Let's fast forward a little bit. So here, this looks like quite a big gap, right? But this car is so good on the brakes that I know that as long as I'm alongside him going into the braking zone, I can get as tight to his door as I can, and he hasn't got a choice. He can't turn in until I turn in. So I've given him a flash to let him know that I'm coming. It's always a good thing to do. Like, I'm a big advocate of flashing cars when you're trying to give them information. So I'm telling him at this point that I'm going to go for it. I know that my car brakes better than his, so down I go. I'm going to overslow the car because, again, I'm not getting the turn-in angle that I want, that you would normally have. So you need to slow down more, otherwise you're just going to kind of understeer off into the distance. Get it done, and then minimal time loss. So let's fast forward a bit more.
10 minutes remaining. 10 minutes.
I'm not sure how. Ah, there we go. Right, so we have got some more traffic. So here, I know I'm nowhere near close, so I'm just going to set it up as I would do normally. Down to first to get the better exit. Out she goes. And then, yeah, this is all straightforward. And then here, I know I'm not going to make this one, so I'm just going to brake, overslow the car, get in and out so I can go around the outside round here. Again, this is one of those corners where the GT3s, they know that they need to stay tight, but they are very understeery cars in general. So I just like to make sure that I've given myself enough margin. So at this point, I could be by his door here, like in reality, but I'm just, again, trying to make sure that I'm not going to die. So I go as far over to the right as I can, almost kind of scrubbing the grass on the outside on the exit, just to give myself that room for error. And out we go through there. Yeah, this guy. Right, so at this point, I know I'm not close enough to get up the inside of him here. So you're going to see I do a lift here, overslow the car, and then just tighten it on the exit, and away it goes. So I think, right, yeah. So here again, so I'm too far away here to do anything, and this gap here is I'm not close enough. So as I spoke about this corner before, I need to be at this point here. I need to be like on him for me to be able to make it work into the on the inside here. Because like I said, the GT3s do not want you to go up the inside of them there. It really messes up their entries. So unless you are not unless you're able to not give them a choice, it's not worth taking the risk because they will just turn in on you and it will be you that loses out. So in this instance, this isn't close enough for me to make the move. So I'm just going to sit behind, again, go down to first, keep it really tight so I can get on the gas and get away with as minimal time loss as possible. I've obviously lost some time there, but it could have been a lot worse if I was like right on his gearbox here and I'm not able to get this exit out as he's drifting wide, then I would have lost a lot more time. And it's about getting the momentum down here into the hairpin. So important stuff all round, really. So this is me going past the leader. So again, just giving myself maximum room here. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. I have got some other replays and stuff, and I'm going to be doing a lot more racing this week, so I can take some more. But if there is anything else that you kind of want me to go through, or if there's any extra details you want to know, then just let me know, and we'll go through it, and hopefully see you all tonight for the group session. Cheers, guys. Speak to you soon.